Mary.
There are 3 parties in conference, including you.
Hello, people on the phone? Who's there?
Who's there?
Hey, Darren, we're gonna videotape or YouTube tape the first part of this, just FYI, and then I'll say when it's turned off. Okay. All right, you're on.
Okay, so Danielle wanted us to go over Google Hangouts, Google Hangout on air through the National Archives Google Plus page. I'm sure everyone knows that in September we had our first Google Hangout with the archivist, and it went, there were some technical difficulties which always seem to plague us, but this time it wasn't our fault, like usual. Actually, it found out later that Gmail was not sending, they were having a glitch and they weren't sending emails, and so all of our Hangout invitations were not sent. So that's what happened with the Hangout. So we don't want to scrap the idea because it's very cool, and there's a lot of applications that we can use for it. But we are looking to expand and see if there's any other ideas that we can have to do a Hangout. So that's my Hangout experience, and then Dominic also has done some Hangouts with the Wikipedians.
Right. We've had, since I think June, we've been doing a monthly Glam Out, we call it, and it's essentially just kind of information sharing among Wikipedians and cultural professionals who are working on projects with Wikipedia.
Okay. So for doing a Hangout through the National Archives, there's some things to keep in mind. First, we all have NARA Gmail accounts, but our NARA Gmail accounts do not have Google Plus profiles attached to them. And that's something that was decided much higher than me at all, even though I have mentioned it. So because of that, me as mary.krakowiak@nara.gov cannot participate in a Hangout with my account. Right. So you have to use a personal Gmail account, and that includes anyone who's participating as well. We also can't use Google Hangouts for doing internal agency business, and that has to do with the intellectual rights to it. Hannah Bergman can explain this all better, but in my boiled down version, we if we don't control where the data is kept, then we can't. Then we're not. There's some legal problem with us not being in control of the information that we're using doing agency business. So any Hangout that we do has to be public facing or something along the lines of a public program, like a Ask AOTIS Hangout. But once you do have an idea and you have something ready to go, it's actually really easy to set up a Hangout. And we do it through the Google Plus page on for the National Archives. So if you haven't been there, this is our Google Plus page. It basically, I basically just repurpose content from other parts of the agency. So from the U.S. Net Archives Facebook page, the Today's Document Tumblr, sometimes from presidential libraries on Tumblr, from education. So this is just another place to reach people. But we do have actually a significant number of people who do participate on Google+. So easy in the dashboard, there's a place for Hangouts. And these are actually all the Hangouts that are on air right now. So we would start one on air. I'm not sure we're actually going to do this. Okay, you set it up. We'll just name it. And then it starts. So you really have nothing else to do. Right now you can see up in the corner it says off air. Until you click on air, it won't actually be broadcasting anything. So what you can do is set it up, invite your participants, and then just hang out without publishing anything. And the on-air aspect of this means that our YouTube and our Google Plus pages are connected. So when you click the on-air, it immediately goes to publish onto our YouTube account. So that means in a normal Hangout, you only have, I think, 9 participants max. A Hangout on air means you can virtually share it with anyone. And so once you start, like right now it's probably creating a URL on YouTube saying, here's a test Hangout, and you would hit start broadcast for the whole thing, which we're not going to do. And then you hang out. And so your participants would show up in the bottom part down here, and you'd see the face, and then as people speak, their faces would come up. So you could do anything from a panel of like preservation experts. You could do something like a book review with someone with a specific expert series of records and archivists that do something like that. It could be something really technical, like we just launched something new from this office and we want to get feedback or talk to people where they are and see how they're using it or how it's working out for them. So that, and then once your Hangout is going on and it's happening, it will show up on our page here saying Hangout with the National Archives, and so then people can watch it like natively in the Google Plus page, or it will be up on YouTube. Some things that we learned that are very narrow specific would be that iPads and phones all can do Google. They can all do Hangouts on airs, but we need to contact IT about opening up ports to allow that to happen. So there's no spontaneous Hangouts here, unfortunately. A 30-minute Hangout is pretty much the max number of time to really keep people interested. At least that's what we realized. But plan for at least an hour worth of content because things will go by very fast. Other than that, it's still something that we're investigating and trying to figure out. So if you have ideas, let's do it.
Like it's important to have somebody whose role is to be a moderator.
Yeah.
It's important to have an agenda before you start so that the person that's moderating can kind of, direct, who's the next person that's going to talk or the next topic area, because otherwise you have basically dead air or people talking over each other. For us, one of the things that we found, since we were trying to make it interactive, we actually typically have a person who's on the Hangout just to serve as basically the social media moderator or monitor. And so people can ask questions over Twitter on the hashtag. Now Google Hangouts has a separate Q&A area where people who are watching on YouTube can send in questions as comments. So it's good to have somebody who's kind of monitoring that and then can relay, like say, hey, we've got this question coming in. Because the person who's hosting, like people who are like trying to talk, are already stressed out enough as it is, just trying to keep track of all that, so they can't really be, keeping tabs on questions coming in. I think that's all I have right now.
Does anyone have questions?
A lot of times, like you probably will, in the end, get more viewers just from people watching that static YouTube archive than you will that are there in real time.
What I would like to do on our Google Plus page on archives.gov would be if we get into a rhythm of posting having a lot of Hangouts to before the Hangout even happens, to have that YouTube video embedded right onto the page so people can, we can point people directly to our Google Plus archives.gov page and have that be kind of our hub to see if we can get traffic driven right there as opposed to people stumbling upon it on Google Plus or YouTube. So that would be ideal. And since we can create the Hangout and kind of keep it going and that will create the link, we'll be able to, it would be a fast turnaround, but we'd be able to embed it, prior to the Hangout actually starting if we started a couple hours before.